Assalamu alaikum, namaste, and welcome to the News Hour with your favorite host and those Jennifer Rogers. And if you are new to our channel, do not forget to share this video with all your friends and family so they are aware about all the things happening in Qatar and all around the world. And with that, we are also available on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, where we post a lot of interesting content, and it's just for you. And with that, if you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel yet, please go ahead and do so. We are also available, I already said that. Anyways, do not forget to check out our other channel, which is called qatarday.com. And with this, I have about 3 local news and 1 international. So let's just get into it. The first one being the Sea Line Medical Clinic opens tomorrow. The Hamad Medical Corporation. Thank you, Upendra Reddy. Thank you so much. Hamad Medical Corporation Sea Line Medical Clinic opens tomorrow to coincide with the start of the campaign season. Hamad Medical Corporation will open its medical clinic at the Sea Line area of Qatar on Thursday 22nd October at 3 p.m. The Sea Line Medical Clinic has been operating for 11 years and the opening coincides with the start of the campaign season, that is for 2020 and 21. Now the clinic will operate from 3 p.m. on Thursday until 5 p.m. on Saturday. The camping season will remain open until the official end of the camping season. The opening of the clinic highlights HMC's commitment to provide safe, compassionate and effective healthcare service to all patients in Qatar. Mr. Ali Abdullah Al Khater, Hamad Medical Corporation's Chief Communication Officer and Project Manager of the Sea Line Medical Clinic, said that the camping season coincides this year with the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic, and he urged campers to adhere to the COVID-19 preventive measures, including social distancing, wearing masks, and regularly hand washing to take all safety precautions. Now, the clinic is located on the main road adjacent to the busy beach, resort, mosque, shopping area, and other services and amenities in the areas. And this enables easy access to the clinic and has enabled the team to provide first aid services to the public in fast and effective manner. Mr. Al Khater expressed appreciation to Hamad Medical Corporation's partner in the Sea Line Clinic, whose efforts have been vital to its success. He extended special thanks to the Ministry of Municipality and Environment and to the other providers who take care of the services in this unique recreational area, such as food and beverage outlets and other recreational amenities. He also thanked members of the Hamad Medical Ambulance Service and other Hamad Medical Corporation team who has supported the cooperation efforts at the Sea Line. Now with this, let me get to the second update of the day, which is Qatar's COVID-19 timely measures have saved at least 1 million people from infection, as said by Dr. Al Khal. Mr. Upendra Reddy, yesterday also I said that I do not have any idea about it yet. We do not have any information about it, that when visas for Qatar will open, when the visit visas will open. So whenever we do get the idea or the information, we will let you know. Okay, for now I don't have any information about it and I don't want to give you any wrong information. Okay, I'll just get back to the news. So more than 1 million COVID-19 infections have been prevented by the steps Qatar has taken to combat the pandemic. One of the country's leading health officials had told a webinar organized by Qatar Foundation Partner University that the Deputy Chief Medical Officer at Hamad Corporation explained that during an Al Marifa public seminar hosted by Texas at A&M University at Qatar, that without the restrictions and the public health measures put in place when COVID-19 struck, the impact of the virus on Qatar would have been so serious that it would have overwhelmed the nation's healthcare system. Instead, he said the country has been able to stay resilient and avoid having to prioritize care for some patients over the others, while recording one of the world's lowest COVID-19 mortality rates and taking some positivity for the future. Now, due to the intervention we implemented, he said, we flattened the curve to the extent that the peak numbers of infections was 79% lower than what it was when there were no public health measures being taken. Dr. Al Khal told the event titled Qatar's response to COVID-19 pandemic, lessons learned. Without implementing restrictions and public health measures, the peak of the pandemic would have come very quickly and much larger number of infections. We can only imagine what the impact on our healthcare system would have been if 1 million more people had been affected. But our intervention led to an estimate of 77% reduction in a daily acute care hospital administration or admissions. Now with this, let me get to the third update of the day, which is rotating attendance system for students have been started from November 1st. For all the school students, there's a rotating attendance system that has been put in place. So the Ministry of Education and Higher Education has decided to adopt the actual rotating attendance system for students in government and private schools as well as kindergarten. The ministry has decided to cancel the decision to choose between actual attendance and distance learning. The new system will be implemented after the end of the midterm exams for the first semester as for November 1. The decision was made after taking into account the public health indicator related to COVID-19 and the continuous monitoring and evaluation of the educational process in line of the pandemic within the framework of the generation suited data. Now the ministry also decided to raise the average attendance rate in all government and private schools and kindergartens to 42% of the capacity of the school in accordance with the weekly rotating attendance schedule. It is said that the compulsory attendance will start from November 1st for public and private schools according to their academic calendar after the end of the midterm exams for the first semester, which will start from October 25th and no later than November 1st, provided that the blended education system will be applied according to the weekly rotational attendance schedule. All government and private schools are obliged to divide the total number of students into classes with a maximum of 15 students per class, with adherence to the distance of 1.5 meters between each student and wearing of face mask. The school will organize the entry and exit of students from and to the school building to provide crowding and maintain social distance. Students with chronic diseases are excluded from attendance to school building during the first semester, provided they have obtained medical certificates. Now with this, let me get to the international bit of the day, which is amid the tension with China, US to sell air-to-ground cruise missiles to Taiwan. So the US State Department on Wednesday said it agreed to sell Taiwan the air-to-ground cruise missiles, including other weapon system, in deal worth over $1 billion. $1 billion. The US would be supplying the AGM-84 SLMA SLAM Air cruise missiles to its ally with 6 MS-110 air pods and 11 M14 mobile light rocket launchers. The state said that the Slammer missiles would help the Taiwanese meet current and future threat, as it would provide all-weather, day and night, precise attack capable against both moving and stationary targets on the ground or ocean surfaces. Now the US move comes as Chinese jet repeatedly entered Taiwan's airspace ahead of its National Day celebration earlier in this month, a move which was widely criticized by the Taiwanese government. China has earlier released footage of the military exercise stimulating a Taiwanese-like territory, while with a missile strike, President Donald Trump, reacting on China's move, has said whether there is an ambitious landing, a missile attack, or a grey zone type operation, they really need to fortify themselves. Taiwan needs to start looking at some asymmetric and anti-access area denial strategies and really fortify itself in a manner that it would deter the Chinese from any sort of invasion or even a grey zone operations against them. So with this, I'm done with all the updates for today. Thank you so much for logging on to Qatar Day. Keep loving, keep supporting, keep watching Qatar Day, the pulse of the nation. Me, your host in those, Jennifer Rogers, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Not tomorrow, tomorrow is an off. I wish you all a very, very happy weekend. I hope you have a very, very good Friday. and I'll see you guys on Saturday. I'll see you guys on Saturday, same time. Until then, remember to take care of yourself, stay healthy, eat healthy, stay safe, and look after yourself. And I'll see you guys on Saturday, okay? Khuda Hafiz. Bye bye.